Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Streggy, and here I have another review for you. This time about a reboot of a 1989 film that was directed by Charles Band originally. But this film is, in fact, a reboot of the franchise series of Puppet Master, which this one is called Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich, and it's directed by Tommy Wicundo and Sonny Laguna. So here it is. Here is what it looks like. Definitely creepy looking on the outside. So we have Andre Toulon, who seems to be more of a Mr. Clean, scarred, Scully-looking guy, played by Udo Kier, in fact. And so he comes into a town. We definitely see that he has a more of a darker approach to him. And what ends up happening is we have a couple of characters that we see. A recently divorced man by the name of Edgar Easton, played by Thomas Lennon, who evidently was recently divorced, and in the home of his dead deceased brother, ends up finding one of the dolls and turns around and tries to sell it for some quick cash at an auction, where suddenly, somehow, some way, 63 puppets were animated by this evil substance and then went out on a murdering spree. Now, the differences in what's similar in this film is that the puppets are animated, and some of the puppets that we know so well have returned, but we definitely have some names in this film. We have Barbara Crampton returning, as she was in the original Puppet Master. We have Udo here, as we mentioned before. We also have Michael Perry, who played in Streets of Fire, and so on and so forth. So there's a kind of a girl next door kind of a character played by Ashley Summers. Well, not played by Ashley Summers. Ashley Summers is her character, and she is played by Jenny Pelliser. And she's kind of a short-haired blonde in here. And what ends up happening is these puppets come alive, and they go and seek shelter somewhere with Michael Perry's character. And along the way, I definitely noticed that the gore in this film or in this franchise has definitely been upped. There's definitely one of my favorite scenes is when one of the puppets actually somehow gets impregnated with the baby inside of a maid and comes out from the womb and carries the baby with its umbilical cord, and that's just freaky and gory, and yeah, that kind of gore. So ultimately, whereas the original Puppet Master, it seemed like the puppets were animated and were kind of controlled as to where they were going to go. These puppets were animated with an evil and just didn't have no rhyme or reason, or any rhyme or reason to their kills. So it's like they killed off whoever got in their way. And that's the thing about these puppets, is that they really didn't have a, path to follow why they were doing this, and that to me is all too more all of that the more much more scarier. Now it did definitely have some nudity in here, so that was cool. And yeah, uh, I enjoyed the characters for the most part. There was definitely some cheese. Um, I enjoyed the acting. Um, so yeah, I thought I had a lot of fun with this film. I thought the effects were you definitely saw that there was a bigger budget behind this film. So that's one of the things. So there, I do feel like CGI was more relied upon in this film, and that's the thing that just disappointed me about the film. But it's definitely better than the CGI that was in the 90s, because when CGI first started, it looked like shit. No offense, but I enjoy films that have more special effects in them. And as far as the gore is concerned, the gore parts is what fascinated me in this film. So I'm kind of on the edge of whether I like it or not. I mean, there were parts that I did and parts that I didn't. So that being said, hopefully you enjoyed my review on this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Definitely check out the film for yourself. There were definitely some moments of intense city and fun that went on in the film. So definitely had some enjoyment there. So in any case, thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are, and I appreciate the listening to the channel ahead of time. Thank you so much. Have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much.